To me, feedback is when somebody gives an honest opinion about their thoughts or about other people's thoughts and ideas about ways to possibly improve a situation.
Feedback to me means giving both strengths and weaknesses of something. So if I do an assignment, like if I get it back and they've just said all the positive things, you've no way of improving really. Whereas if they tell you something that you could maybe work on, then you've got a better chance of improving for next time.
You get feedback on your assignment, so you give an assignment in, and then when it comes back it has like a feedback sheet on it, and you're meant to read that, and then some assignments you can use it and hand it in again like later in the year when you're meant to read it, and it's meant to, when you do your next assignment, there's stuff on it, you kind of like next time do this, and then it helps you.
Yeah, feedback is information of how I performed either academically or through a presentation, and feedback is very, very useful. You can improve your work by adequate and good feedback.
I think feedback to me is receiving some, feedback from your tutors, but something that you can take and you can use to develop and improve your work. So yeah, I think it's a useful kind of critique of of your assignments.
There's feedback which can give very limited information to how and where to improve something, and there can be very detailed kind of feedback where you can specify on one particular thing. So it can be very general, it can be very specific on what you're looking for.
I think especially on the course that I'm doing, we do a lot of different feedback. So we do peer assessment, which is you get someone doing the same course to look at it and they feedback verbally. We've got the chill out areas where you can actually sit and informal talk about something, or you get your tutor feedback, which is on a sheet and different points.
I think so. I think as a student I experienced, like informal verbal feedback, which you could have in a seminar, and then obviously the more formal when you when you receive an assignment back, and obviously you have your the marking system and comments. So yeah, I think so. I think I was aware of that.
I think so. From like my own course and talking to people on different courses, our course was very much the written feedback, with occasional verbal one-to-one feedback in tutorials, and then other people got kind of more direct feedback, like in terms of lectures, overall feedback as well.
When we submit the assignments, we hardly receive about 2 to 3 comments in the feedback section, which is not really worthwhile investigating and working upon, because it's not going to help you in the long term. So if you really want to enhance your assignment next time, you need to understand what were your faults in the first assignment. So that needs effective feedback from the first assignment itself.
Yeah, I do. Some subjects more than others, but a lot of the tutors are willing, even if they write it down on a sheet on a marking scheme, if you want to discuss it, they are willing to meet up in free time and discuss that with you, and they are really supportive, really helpful.
Only when the one I failed, they've never done that. If you pass it, you just get it given back and it never gets spoken about. I think even when I passed them I got 2 2s, but there was never like, oh, let's sit down and see how you could get like a first. But when I failed it, they were like, oh, let's sit down, and which was good. That's how they should do that with all of it.
Mostly yes. I think depending on the tutor or the size of the group, I think sometimes if you were bordering on, say, like a 2-2 and a 2-1, sometimes they would say like, oh, well done, and then that'll be it, and there wouldn't be any kind of like qualifying information of this is what you could have done to improve, this is what you did wrong.
received quality feedback all the time. Sometimes it's a little bit slow, other times it's very, very fast, but it's always been quality feedback.
So far, yes. I've only received a few different bits to do with assignments that we've handed in, but what I've received so far has helped. It was a good score anyway, so yeah.
One of my block placement, the school I was at was really good with stuff like that. Like, if we had like observations, they'd give us feedback on observations for ages, like really good feedback, and our sheets were like really well filled in. Like, and I had the deputy head did check my file and stuff, and he like was there giving me feedback on how to improve like my placement files.
It's quite different because the difference between the feedback that I got in a situation when I was having to stand in front of a class of children is different to when I'm having to write something down on a piece of paper, but it's still, both ways still help you build.
I think if we were given more time to discuss it actually in sessions, because obviously a lot of people, like there's about 20 in our class, so if you got all the different feedback and discussed it with your peers, I think that would be a lot more helpful, because then you get different perspectives on what it actually means and what you could do to improve.
Till now I have not received any exhaustive academic feedback. I have asked for several times, but the same thing keeps coming back to me. So in terms of academic feedback, what I would expect is if an assignment is submitted, I would expect at least on a personal request, if a tutor can allot some time and give a constructive feedback as to how the assignment could be improved and how it was approached and different views, and maybe having a session prior to assignment submission when the assignment is given to a student. The expectation should be made clear rather than just giving a marking grid and saying that this is what is expected from an assignment.